All right, how's it going? My name is Brian, and this is the first time that I'm actually going to be passionate about what I'm going to talk about so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did when it comes to door-to-door sales and solar. So, let's get started on some of the mistakes that I made in the last 2 months that didn't actually make me any sales. Why? Because of these small details that if you don't take into account, they're going to be big. Rule number one, know your shit. Know what the heck you're talking about. Absolutely. At first, when I first started, I just didn't know how to get the bill. It took me 3 weeks to actually get one bill by myself. And this is from someone who is a little, how do you say, introverted, doesn't talk too much, and was really nervous at the door. The first 3 weeks were the hardest ones for me. And they were the hardest because I just didn't understand how to get a bill, which was okay because at the 4th week I started to get a bill, and then after that I started to get a bill consistently in door-to-door solar. So at first you're gonna suck. You're gonna suck at first, but it's important that you get, you know what Alex Hormozi said. Volume negates luck. The more you do something about it, the better you get at it. And so at first I sucked, but at the 4th week I understood how to get a bill, which is great, which was really great. But it took me a while because I just didn't understand what solar was at the beginning. It's like I don't understand a lot of things, and some of the objections that people are telling me, I don't even know how to handle them. Well, back then, right? And the only objections, they were really pretty simple actually, but I just took it as a great, at face value for what people gave me. Some people were telling me like, oh, I don't believe in that, or I'm not interested. And I just didn't know how to handle those objections because it was so new to me. And whenever I got rejected, it felt awful. It did. But the more skin you put in the game, the better you get at it. And so, as of this moment, I don't give a shit if somebody rejects me, which is good. But at the same time, I do care of helping people with solar, which is pretty good. The only the thing that I'm seeing is that I can handle a lot of objections, except for closing objections, which, because I'm a setter, I don't really understand a lot of closing objections. So absolutely, you're gonna have to learn your shit as you go. Learn everything that you can about how to read the utility bill, about your company, about net metering, whatever you can about solar. It's incredibly important that you know a lot of details and take notes every single day that you're going into meetings with the team in the solar industry. Take notes, study them, understand them. And so you have to know what you're talking about. Like I said, at first you're gonna suck, but eventually you're gonna figure out how to talk to people. Number 2, learn how to set correct appointments. Jesus, it's been a long journey, and it's taking me a while to understand how to do things effectively. Number 1, get their name, their phone number, the address, the bill, which is, if you don't have a bill, you don't have anything. Make sure that the decision maker is there within the appointment. And make sure to set a time and day. Now, do not give people business cards. Do not do that. Don't do that. It's incredibly, you would be so freaking surprised how people sometimes, let's say you book an appointment, let's say you get the bill on like Monday, and then you book an appointment on Sunday, right? I'm gonna tell you, it's not gonna work. And if it does, it's gonna be up to the closer, kinda. It's happened to me before where we actually booked an appointment. 3 days later, somebody died. Yeah, somebody died. And not only that, but like, or they got blackmailed, or what is it? Uh, or the wife called them and told them no, or the like you give people time to think about it. When in reality, some people don't really know what solar is. They don't even understand it. I didn't even understand it when I was going into it, but now I do. I know that it's beneficial for people, and I know who to actually help. So if you give time, people, if you give people time to actually think about it, and because they don't know much about it, they're gonna get scared, and they're gonna tell you that no. That's why it's incredibly important that you book an appointment maximum 2 days in advance, because everything is fresh in their mind as to what you actually spoke with them about. And yeah, and just have a mindset of trying to help people, but also don't book an appointment like 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, just 2 days max, because it's gonna happen. Because if you do it that way, the make you booking an appointment 4 days or in 5 days, it's not gonna happen. Or maybe you're gonna depend on the closer, and if the closer is not really good, it's not gonna happen. Okay, so then, yeah, there's a lot to learn. But what I'm telling you is that sales is hard. Sales is pretty hard. It's not a simple job. It's a lot about psychology, and you have to know what you're talking about when you're speaking to people. And once you know what you're talking about, you have to find a way to express everything that you actually learned. Make sure you actually learned it, and communicate it in a way that people understand you, and people will actually listen to you. Because right now at this moment, I can actually persuade someone to get me the bill. I can, which is something that I couldn't do before, but now I do. I can get a bill if I want to, because I know what I'm talking about, and I know how to communicate it in a way that is helpful for them. Not only that, the more I study about solar, the more I believe that I can actually help people, which helps me out. There are some things that I still don't know about closing. For example, people fear the fact that it's like in Spanish, I don't know what it's called, a deuda. Like people fear that it's gonna be like a small house payment the same way. But and this is something that I've seen some closers that they don't know how to answer properly, and they make people get scared of everything. That is why it is incredibly important that you know. For example, in my case, I understand how to talk to people in a way that they can actually give me the bill. Now, because it's been 2 months already, I have to learn how to close. I have to. I know a lot about how to book an appointment correctly now, but I need to learn how to close, because I don't want to. I know that I need a closer, but I want to learn how to close, because don't I don't want somebody else closing deals if they can't answer like that question of like, when people get scared about this doesn't make sense, and they don't know how to explain it correctly. So at this point in my life, I know how to book appointments consistently now after making so many mistakes. And yeah, so just to reiterate, what you need to know about solar is that you have to know what you're talking about. You have to communicate it in a way that makes people understand it. You have to get the bill. You have to get the bill, the name, the phone number, the day and time, and make sure the decision maker is there. Because it's also happened to me where I book an appointment with the spouse and the husband is not there, or I book an appointment with the husband and the spouse is not there. And what happens is that they gotta think it over and tell their wife or their husband. And I'm gonna tell it to you, how the heck are they gonna explain everything that we just told them the next day? They're not gonna be able to, and they're just gonna get scared. So as of this moment, I hope you take these things that I just told you into consideration, and actually, oh, and don't give people business cards. Just don't. It's a bad idea. Don't do it. You seem like a salesperson, and look professional, look the part, because when I speak, I make sure that people understand me in a very slow, concise manner that I'm actually positioned me as an expert. But yeah, don't give people business cards. Just don't. It's don't do it. I had to learn the hard way. Don't do it. And there was a colleague of mine that told me don't give up business cards. When I saw there people that were, and yes, it turns out you shouldn't give people business cards. It's not. Maybe if you didn't get the bill, maybe yeah. If you didn't actually get the bill, but if you got the bill, don't give the business cards. No. Yeah. So here's some of the things that I had to learn the hard way. Take note, because I've been at it for 2 months. I understand how to book correct appointments now. And yeah, learn from my mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes that I did, because I can assure you, it feels awful knowing how other people can actually close, whether it is because their closer is better, or they're a bit more, or they just don't care about the other person and they just want to sell something, or they're a bit more, how do you call it? They got a bit more experience, and it sucks to see other people succeed and you're stuck in the same place. So yeah, don't do the same mistakes that I did, because it's gonna save you a long time. 2 months to be exact. Right now, it's about to be 2 months as I've been working as a setter, and until now, I barely understand how to book correct appointments, because I had to learn everything by myself. By trial and error too, because you gotta teach everything yourself. You gotta figure everything out yourself, and that's about it. Yeah, you just gotta try and fail, because you're gonna fail a lot. I failed a lot, and I had to figure everything out by myself, and I had to listen to some people telling me some shitty advice, and I had to ignore them. And also, just take everything with a grain of salt when you're learning. What I'm telling you right now, these are some of the things that you need, that I know you need, and some of the things that haven't worked for me. So if you're going into door-to-door sales, understand, in solar specifically, understand that it's tough. It's tough, because I've seen some people that have like really good closers. They go door to door and they sell on the first, and they're in their first day. And me, I've had like a bad closer go in with me, get a bill, and not even close on the first day, not even the whole month. So that is why I'm giving you all these things that made me learn the hard way, because I had to figure everything out by myself. Nobody told me these things like I'm telling you right now, like, except for the guys in the Real Sales Dynamics. Those guys are freaking awesome. Those are the guys that actually taught me a lot more about how to develop myself at the door than the guys at the company. So yeah, Jesus, man. Yeah, the Real Sales Dynamics guys are pretty great. And I don't know if they're ever gonna watch this, but yeah, their advice actually made me a better setter. So as of right now, I got about 3 appointments. I think I got 3 appointments from a day that I got like 3 bills. It was gonna be 4, man, but I couldn't understand how to get the freaking bill from the utility company. So it was gonna be 4, which was awesome. But yeah, anyway, I hope you learned from what I actually told you right now, and take note on my mistakes, because I don't want you to make the same shitty ass mistakes that I'm telling you right now. So yeah. And when it comes to the agency, I think I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, honestly. I don't think I know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't think I know what the fuck I'm doing. I know how it works, but I just don't think I know what I'm doing. So like they say, you gotta figure everything out by yourself. And as of right now, I don't have anybody to, except for one of my mentors. But I haven't spoken to him because I'm really pretty busy. So yeah, when it comes to setting appointments and door-to-door sales in solar, take note, because you're gonna save a lot of time. And yeah, peace.